Today on Rappler, Pope Francis receives a rock star's welcome in Manila. The Philippine Stock Exchange Index reaches an all-time high. And is a Mayweather-Pacquiao fight happening soon? Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. We're coming to you from the International Media Center beside the historic Manila Hotel as we follow Pope Francis's visit to the Philippines. This is Rappler's Wrap for the day, a list of the most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. Pope Francis arrives in the Philippines at 5:32 p.m. Manila time Thursday to the ringing of church bells all across the country. Thousands welcomed the Pope as his plane lands in Villamor Air Base, from government officials led by President Benigno Aquino to church leaders led by Antonio Cardinal Tagle to hundreds of children dancing for the spiritual leader of all Catholics. 2 children with flowers, 10-year-old Mark Angelo Balbero and 9-year-old Lani Ortilla, are the first to welcome the Pope. From Villamor, Francis heads to the Papal Nuncio's residence where he will be staying throughout his visit. Francis's packed 5-day visit to the Philippines includes diplomatic meetings with government officials, masses with priests and lay leaders, engagement with the youth and families, and meetings with calamity victims in the Visayas.
Every one of us knows that the Philippines are the largest Christian Catholic country in Asia, and then in this perspective of Pope Francis to come to Asia that was so important from the very beginning of his pontificate, this journey to Filipino was was necessary. It was clear that it was necessary to come also to this very important nation that is the center of the Catholic Church in this.
Tropical storm Amang with international name Mekala veers away from Leyte. The Pope is scheduled to fly to Tacloban City in Leyte Saturday, the worst hit by the strongest typhoon to hit land in recent history, that Super Typhoon Haiyan, locally known as Yolanda. Days before the Pope flies to Leyte, Amang enters the Philippine area of responsibility. The storm alarmed organizers, but State Weather Bureau PAGASA says there's a good chance Amang will not hit land in the Philippines. Is Pope Francis safe? Past attacks on Popes Paul VI and John Paul II while they were in the Philippines and threats from extremists around the world trigger heightened security for the head of the Catholic Church. Communications Secretary Sunny Coloma says there's no specific threat, only general ones. Coloma adds the Philippine government is doing everything to ensure the Pope's safety.
Where do we stand? Any other identified threats? What are you looking at now?
Our security agencies are considering every possible source of threat or danger in line with our objective of ensuring the safety and security of the Pope and of protecting the safety of our people at all times.
Why is it easier to get close to Pope Francis in Leyte, where he'll visit Saturday? Paterno Esmaquiel files this video blog.
They say if you want to get close to Pope Francis, you have to go here to Leyte. And here's why. This is where people will stand when Pope Francis passes by on January 17. And this is where Pope Francis will pass by. Look, the roads here in Tacloban City are so narrow. And there are fewer people here, 2 million as opposed to 11 million in Metro Manila. And not just that, some roads are closed, which will limit the number of people who can attend the motorcade. And there are also more places to choose from here. This is an 11.5-kilometer route after all. Well, wherever you choose to be when the Pope comes, just make sure you're safe and you make other people safe as well. Paterno Esmaquiel, Rappler, Tacloban City.
Tomorrow, Friday, will mark the Pope's first full day in the Philippines, reflecting the different faces of Francis. At 9 a.m., it's the diplomat, the head of the Vatican City, who will visit Malacanang Palace for a courtesy call with President Benigno Aquino and other key leaders. At 11 a.m., Francis is the leader of the Catholic Church, holding Mass in Manila Cathedral with members of the Filipino clergy. At 5:30 p.m., he will be at the SM Mall of Asia Arena to meet Filipino families. For those on desktop, click on the links on your screen. You can also click on the tabs below to go to a story in the video. And for those on smartphones and tablets, the links can be found below the video. In other news, Muslims in the Philippines and Afghanistan protest against French satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo. This comes after the magazine's latest cover Wednesday with the weeping Prophet Muhammad holding a sign saying, "I am Charlie," under the banner, "All is forgiven." In Marawi City, protesters say the Hebdo massacre is, in their words, a moral lesson for the world to respect any kind of religion. In Afghanistan, the Taliban says those who drew the Muhammad cartoons are, in their words, enemies of humanity. Astronauts run for cover after reports of a toxic ammonia leak triggered panic in the International Space Station. But U.S. Space Agency NASA says it could be a false alarm. For the first time, the Philippine Stock Exchange Index, or the PSEI, breaches the 7,500 mark, hitting a new all-time intraday high. Analysts credit plunging oil prices for the market's strong performance. The news comes as the World Bank downgrades the Philippines' annual growth outlook for 2015 because of underspending in late 2014. Is a Floyd Mayweather-Manny Pacquiao fight happening soon? Sam Watson, part of the inner circle of Mayweather's advisor Al Heyman, says details of the mega fight are being ironed out. Watson claims an announcement is coming soon. Actor Bill Cosby may face prosecution after years of rumors. A woman who accuses Cosby of sexually molesting her in 2008 took the case to the police Wednesday. Previous accusations were dismissed because the cases were filed beyond the statute of limitations, with some going back to the 80s. Every story on Rappler has a mood meter, which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. If we look at the mood navigator in the middle of the front page today, you can see that 6 out of the 10 stories have to do with Pope Francis. Let's go to this story. Hashtag Pope Francis, his arrival in Manila. You have 13% happy and a whopping 76% inspired. That is the wrap for today, Thursday, January 15th, the day Pope Francis arrived in the Philippines. Visit Rappler.com for the latest news here and around the world. Check out our other shows, Tech Wrap and Talk Thursday. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We will continue to bring you updates of Pope Francis's Philippine visit. Follow the hashtag PopeFrancisPH. If there's anything you'd like the Pope to see, tweet photos with the hashtag #ShowThePope. I'm Maria Ressa. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.